I'm here because I am a roaring lion crying out righteousness. Again, we're in the tribulation, and on this weekend in Chicago, there were 50 shootings on Sunday night. After people went to church on Sunday, 50 shootings and 10 fatalities. Now, this is a report. I'm going to have two reports about the violence in Chicago, the deaths in Chicago this past weekend. And as you know, I have been reporting on Chicago since Trayvon Martin and Michael Brown and the election of Barack Hussein, the long-legged Mac Daddy Obama. I have been reporting that Chicago has, if you will, is under an individual curse of giving launch to the presence of Obama. And the violence there is just unprecedented. We know that there are major school shootings. We know about that. And from the Japheth community, we see it going on. There'll be another one, and not that I wish it would, God forbid, but obviously there's going to be more shootings in schools before this season is over with. But 50 shootings on Sunday night. Let me read the article. It's a little bit choppy here. Chicago suffered yet another bloody weekend as scores of shootings erupted throughout the city. Shooting fatalities reached double digits for the second weekend in a row. Reported on Sunday night. On Sunday night, it says, at least 50 people have been shot, 10 fatally in Chicago shootings so far this weekend, police said. There were 51 people shot, including 12 fatally shot last weekend, including this weekend's rampage. It was a tragic mass shooting at the Austin neighborhood on Chicago's west side. It seems that a large group had gathered to commemorate a man who had perished in a fatal car crash 4 years earlier, according to police. And a verbal altercation erupted during the tribute for the deceased man, which then quickly escalated into a deadly gunfight. This is absolutely incredible. And Deputy Chief Arnaldo Gutierrez of the Chicago Police Department said they were out there celebrating, and then something happened in the verbal out. Anyway, so these shootings that are taking place in Chicago, where's Al Sharpton? Where's Jay-Z? Where are these so-called leaders? Why don't y'all go to Chicago and calm it down? Calm it down. You know the thing, and I'm going to let the other video run in just a moment, Mr. Engineer. Give me a moment. You know, Chicago is the home of Louis Farrakhan, head of the Nation of Islam. He's yet alive. Chicago is the home of Jesse Jackson, leader of the Rainbow Push Coalition, associate of Dr. King. He lives in Chicago. Chicago is the home of Oprah Winfrey, the great television, if you will, talk show host with all that money. And Chicago is the birthplace of the political aspirations of Barack Hussein, the long-legged Mac Daddy Obama. Chicago is the birthplace of a large number. It's the birthplace of perhaps Harold Washington, the first black mayor, and more recently, Lori Lightfoot, and now they got a black mayor there now as well, who is an absolute, if you will, disgrace. These people are dying, and none of these so-called lofty black leaders can stop it, or even are saying anything about it. Al Sharpton only shows up if a black person gets shot by a white person. Then he's all over the place like a buzzard. Especially if the person dies, he's like a buzzer circling the air. Then after that comes Ben the Undertaker, Ben Crump the Undertaker. Mr. Engineer, we have a clip, do we not? I mean, what is going on in the world with black people killing each other like this, and all these prominent black figures? Jeremiah Wright was a preacher right there in Chicago. This is just, I know what the answer is. I don't want to tell you. If I tell you, many of you would receive it. A lot of others of you would reject it. But this is warfare. More people have died in Chicago since Obama's presidency than died in the Iraqi war. Go ahead, Ms. Engineer.
That's right. And, you know, the saddest part is that the victim, the fatal victim in last night's shooting was the girlfriend of the man who was being honored, killed himself in a car crash several years ago. It has been a violent weekend in Chicago this first weekend in June, which has so far left 42 people shot, 9 of them fatally. Surveillance video shows the chaotic moments just after 1 a.m. when 7 people were shot, one of them fatally, during a large gathering in Chicago's Austin neighborhood. Dozens are seen running away from the gunfire, taking shelter behind vehicles. Among them, a gunman dressed in jeans and a white top. He opens fire, then runs away towards Cicero Avenue. Police today saying the gathering started out as a celebration of life.
Anniversary of a person that passed away 4 years ago in a traffic accident. So that they were out there celebrating, and then something happened, and verbal altercation occurred, and somebody began shooting, or multiple people began shooting.
This morning, detectives were back on the scene on the 4800 block of West Iowa, talking to neighbors, but also doing a secondary sweep of the area, which was so large and so crowded last night it was impossible to process properly. Yvette McCollum describes what she came home to about an hour before the shooting.
It was totally fine. They were just laughing, dancing, talking, you know, just having a good time. It was just fun. And I just wanted it broke up because it was so many. It was too many. It was at least 100 kids out here.
So many that McCollum says she called 911, hoping police would come and disperse the crowd.
You couldn't get down the block. You couldn't park anywhere. They were in the alley. They had the alleys blocked off. And I told them all this on the phone, told the police all of this. It could have been avoided.
Killed in the shooting was a 25-year-old woman. Speaking to us off camera today, her family said last night's celebration of life was for her then boyfriend. Once police and emergency responders arrived on the scene, she was rushed to Mount Sinai Hospital, where she was pronounced dead.
You know, you can listen to reports about the war in Ukraine and about Russia bombing the city of Zaporozhye or Kiev or Bakhmut or some of the other places that, and, you know, the Russians sent in a bomb or some sort of a missile hits one of the buildings in Kiev. And the reports are that 20 people were injured and 3 of them fatally. 3 people died. Russia shooting an actual $1 million missile hitting in the heart of the city of Kiev. And that's tragic. God knows it's the people that are fatally killed in the Ukrainian war. It's tragic. The people that were injured, who knows how they were injured, loss of limb, then loss of their lives will probably never be the same again. But on any given weekend in Chicago, there are more dead black people than there are people that died in the Russian war, the Ukrainian war, on both sides, Russia and Ukraine. There's something wrong with black people, I'm telling you. And, you know, I say this. There ain't nobody that loves black people. See, if Al Sharpton loved black people, he'd be saying the exact same. There's something wrong with y'all. The white man ain't your problem. There's something wrong with y'all. Y'all kill more people on the weekend than die in a week in the war between Ukraine and Russia. And the total sum number of people that have been killed since the election of Barack Hussein Obama, the so-called first black president, more people, young black men have killed each other than soldiers were killed in the Iraqi war. There's something wrong. The leadership stinks to high heaven. We need to get rid of these people that call themselves so-called leaders, the Al Sharptons of the world, the Ben Crumps of the world, and all these black mayors. In Chicago, they just recently voted in, I think his name is Johnson or something, some kind of first-class idiot. He was Lori Lightfoot. They got rid of her because the violence in Chicago was so awful. They got rid of Lori Lightfoot, which is a black woman mayor. They got rid of her, brought in this other guy who was worse, and the killings are growing worse. Listen, there ain't gonna be no Chicago West Side left if something isn't done. And the people that die, and why isn't there an outcry of the world? Here, rather than these so-called black commentators on television, professors and news anchors, et cetera, They're talking about, well, there's a book called Our Skin that talks about how white people were the first to introduce race, and we need more woke. We need to absolutely know our history. What the hell about your history? Look at your present, man. Y'all are killing one another, and you won't open your mouths to talk about the brutality, the savageness of the young black man to the other black man, the old black men too, and the savageness. Now you got this character, if you will, Cornel West running for president. What a scream. What a scream. You know, you're not going to like this. You ain't going to like this at all. This definitely going to get your feathers. You know, when y'all were slaves, y'all didn't kill each other like this. So all those people would be alive today if y'all were still in slavery. Gave you your freedom, and all you do is kill each other, make babies and run off, and don't take care of them, cuss all the time about what the white man is doing. Get a black person elected to office who ain't nothing but a bootlicking, if you will, Uncle Tom way back when, for the established order, the Wall Streets of the world. That's all. That's the only reason they're going to let anybody with a kinky hair and a black face become the mayor, the senator, the governor, anything else. And the situation gets worse. More black people are killing each other now than ever in the history of the world. I mean, the Hutus and the Tutsis, we're going to soon catch up with them over there in Rwanda. Chicago is second place to Rwanda in the Hutus and the Tutsis. So-called black president. We got a black mayor. Ooh, 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 ooh. We got a black, first black woman judge. Ooh, 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 ooh. We got a black woman vice president. What a bunch of dummies. I mean, it is, well, so wait next weekend, tell everybody in Chicago growing up as you're a young man, a young woman, you'll be dead before you're 25 years old if you don't get out of Chicago. But it's the same way here in New York as well, just not quite as bad. But black people have got a problem, and they don't want to admit it. Here are the professors, Eddie Glaude, Van Jones, and all of this. Michael Eric Dyson, here they are. It's all about what the white man does. But see, you ain't going to hear Eric Dyson, Al Sharpton. Al Sharpton's not going to. 50 people shot, 10 of them killed. You ain't gonna hear Al Sharpton talk about this on the National Action Network. He ain't gonna mention nothing about, he ain't gonna talk about how tragic it is. He ain't gonna fly out there to see about anybody. He ain't gonna do none of that. He gonna act like these people don't exist. Now, had it been a white man shooting a black man, he'd be all over. And then you have all these, if you will, these liberal bleeding hearts, if you will, misguided, if you must, satanic, if you will, white people, Japheth people, Democrats who keep pushing Al Sharpton up. Put him on television. Let him talk. Let's get at the Reb. Hey, Reb, we got Reverend Al. Reverend Al, what do you think about what happened with Reverend Al? Reverend Al, Reverend Al, what do you think about that? They ain't gonna call him about this. They don't give a damn. These white newscasters, then I'm not a racist. I'm just telling you who they are. These white newscasters, these program directors, these managers of the newsroom, these editors of the newspaper, they don't care about these killings of black people killing one another. They don't care because it don't make no money for them, and they really don't care. In fact, they probably wish 100 had been killed. They'd be less of them to have to deal with. But now let a white man kill a black man. We got to get Reverend Al. Can we get Reverend Al? I understand he's away, he's traveling. Can we get him to talk to us from his car while he's traveling? Reverend Al is the spokesperson, and we need to find out about this racism stuff. And just one person died by a white person killing him. 50 got shot in Chicago, 10 died on a Sunday night, and they don't call Reverend Al for that. We don't want to know. We don't give a damn about the 10. We don't give a damn about them. We never have given a damn about the television, CNN, MSNBC, and even Fox News. We don't give a damn about them killing each other. Why we care? Why would we publicize that? Let them keep killing. We don't give a damn, CNN. We don't give a damn, says MSNBC. We don't give a damn, the Washington Post. We don't give a damn, the New York Times. We don't give a damn, the Wall Street Journal and Fox News. We don't give a damn about them killing each other. I don't give a damn. Reverend Al will not be reporting on this, and Ben the Undertaker, Ben Crump, the Undertaker, will not be flying out to Chicago to console the families? Me. I'm James Abraham Manning, everybody. I'm the Lord's servant.